Hello, George. You're on mute, dear. There you
I'm
go.
doing great. How are you, Kimberly?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm fine. Good to see you. Hey, Roy.
Good morning, or
How are
nearly
you?
afternoon. I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Well, I'm fine, thank you. I had a bit of a panic this morning. The electric company let us know that they were turning off the power from 9 to 11.
Ah,
Yeah, only on the hottest day of the year. So far. And I thought, okay, 11 o'clock, that's cool. And then I get a notice that says, oh, it's gonna be off until 1 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, oh dear. Um, I can try to use my cell phone as a hotspot, but I don't know. And then all of a sudden, after an hour, boom, it came on, and so here I am. Hello,
that's
Denise.
good.
Hi.
How was how
Hey,
was your
Denise.
trip? It looked like a lot of fun.
It was wonderful. It was really nice.
Good, good. I'm glad you had a good time, and you got to
You don't
spend a
have a
little bit
Scottish
more than a
accent.
I'm
couple
sorry, what
days.
was that?
You don't have a Scottish accent.
No, I don't. Unfortunately, I wish I could, but that rolling R is very hard to master.
Did you try the haggis?
I did. Yes, I already tried haggis before, but I like haggis. I
Oh,
did
do
try
you?
Stornoway black pudding for the first time though, so
Oh, good God,
I like
no.
that as well.
Oh, but you know what it's made of?
I do, yeah, I do. And
Uh,
apparently, not all black puddings are the same, but the Stornoway black pudding is the best one, apparently. So I tried the good one, and it was really nice. I liked it
Well,
better
he
than
said,
haggis, actually.
really? No. Two things I will never say.
No, well, I figured I should try it at least one more time, and I did, and it
I
was
sup-
really good. So I had it the second time.
I suppose. I suppose. You're gonna
Um,
have to make you're gonna have to make me host.
I know, but I am not host myself, I believe, and
Oh,
I sent Sam a text because I wanted to log on as host, but it's asking me for a pass code, which Sam apparently gets on his device, and he's not replying to me as at the moment. So I can't log on as host as well, so I can't do anything
oh.
as right now.
Well, that's gonna be interesting since my presentation is slides with lots of pictures.
Yes, so I am really hoping to get a reply soon.
Yeah, he never read to mine either when
Um,
I was having my power problems.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna, what time is it now?
I'm
It's
I'm
6.
ready to go. I mean,
Hmm.
the slides are done and they're all pinned up and ready to go. Do
Yeah,
we
well,
have a
well,
phone
that's good to
number,
know.
Sam?
Let me see
Do
if
we
I
have
can ask in the eco-friendly Rotary WhatsApp group if somebody else can help me.
oh, I don't know. Am I in that group?
No, I don't think you are.
No, I'm not.
Let's see, to Zoom.
I'm in a lot of groups, but I'm not in that one.
Oh, I bet.
I need it. Let's see. All right, the question is asked. So let's see who replies.
Yeah, maybe he's not the only one that has the code for
Mm,
the.
That's what I'm hoping for, yeah.
Mm. Susie's in France, isn't she?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
is. I don't think
gonna
I
need.
think Sam's the one who has the device that gets that code.
Ah,
But for that he has to reply, so he has to actually read the message.
Yeah,
Um,
that seems like there's a flaw in that system.
yeah, there is, but in 2 weeks' time he's going to be president again. So,
Yeah, but you always need a backup. What happens if he's not there?
yep. Um, well, we'll see. Yeah, so far there's nothing we can do, so I'm thinking because I can't share my screen either. No, it says hosts, and there's nobody here that has hosts. Sort of no host rights. I don't think so. No. Let's see what I can do. Oh. No, there's nobody on that's host because else I would be able to ask the host to make me a host, but
Right.
I can't do that.
If we text Susie, do you think she can help us?
I did.
You
Well,
can
I texted in a WhatsApp, so I don't really have the text function. I do have the WhatsApp function, so that's what I used. But if anybody else could text, that would be wonderful.
I'll text her and see if she responds.
It's a magic trick.
Or if anybody can text Sam. I did on WhatsApp.
I don't have a phone number for him.
Because my phone, I could text him, but it will cost me dearly because it's going
Oh,
international.
if you have a phone, WhatsApp me his phone number. I can do that.
Let's see. Kim.
You and I are on WhatsApp.
Yes, we are. Let's see. Contact. There we go.
Yep, I just got it. Okay. Hang on just 1 second. Let me figure out how to. That's not what I want. It's a bit picky. Stop it. Just do what I tell you.
So yeah, it's nice to see you all again.
Yeah, it's good to see you
Nice to
guys.
see you.
Yeah, we know Susie's in France, so but here's to hoping.
Denise, it's lovely to see you. I hope you had a wonderful time in beautiful Scotland with all those Scotsmen and their kilts.
Yes, definitely. It was really nice.
Good,
And you were in
good.
Ireland as well, I heard. How was that?
No, I was in Ireland.
Did you have a good time?
I did. I was there for 5 weeks.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I came back with COVID, but other than that,
Oh,
That's
no,
unfortunate.
dear.
it was bad. Well, I didn't really know I had it until I came back. But I mean, obviously, I got it when I was there because I know somebody who had it, and it was horrible, horrible first week. But you know, here I am. I survived it, and I'm still upright.
Good to hear. That's really nice.
That's
On the
sweet
right
side of
side
fun
of
in
the sun.
Scotland.
The right
sorry.
side of the sod.
Sorry, Kimberly.
I said you're on the right side of the sod.
Oh yes, not kicking up the daisies yet.
Yeah. There is no response from Susie. No, that's okay. And the WhatsApp group Gail is the only one that read my message, so and she can't do anything, unfortunately. So we just have to wait for Sam, I think.
And I just messaged him, so.
Okay, good.
Well, we can have a wee lovely chat.
Yeah, we
Yes,
can,
we can.
definitely. Let's just do that.
Well, we could do that. We could do the usual things,
Yes,
the
yes.
happy, sad birthdays, anniversaries, that sort of
Let's
thing.
do that.
I can be the ding dong.
Good. All right. So hereby
Ding,
I'll
ding,
open
ding,
the meeting. So you do your ding dong.
ding, 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 ding.
Perfect. Okay, good. The four-way test. Please unmute yourself and say it with me. Of the things we think, say, and
Say and
do,
do.
is it the truth?
Is
The
it the
truth
truth?
Is it fair
Is
to
it-
all?
Is
Fair
it fair
for
all
to
concerned?
all concerned?
Will it build
Will
Will
goodwill and
it
better
build
friendship?
Goodwill and
goodwill
better
and better
friendship?
friendship?
Will it be
Will
beneficial
it
to
be
all
beneficial
concerned?
Beneficial
to
to
all
all
concerned?
concerned.
Perfect. All right, let me see. I do not think we have any visitors or guests, so it's a nice small group today. And let's see what is next. Announcements. Yeah, so I have been absent for quite some time, of course, so I'm not really up to date with any Rotary announcement at this point. I do have the sad message though that Kraz unfortunately is gonna leave our club.
Oh,
And
dear.
no.
yeah, and I'm very, very sorry to hear it, but he had other responsibilities at this point and some other reasons that he couldn't do it at this time anymore. So he really hopes that he can come back in the future to visit or give some nice talks about bees. So he's still willing to do that, but I am very sorry that that he unfortunately he's gonna leave our club.
Well, he's welcome back anytime.
Yes, that's exactly what I told him because
Mm.
we will miss him dearly.
We will
It's very
indeed.
sad news, you know.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah. So yeah, that's the sad announcement. I think we should put in a sad dollar for that.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. All right, so first let's do the hashtag I fixed the planet. And I did have a Treacly update for you all. We are now at, let me double check that number again, 208 trees planted so far.
Oh, nice.
So that's just
Phenomenal.
from
Wow.
our little group. So we're doing really well. Not everybody is participating, but you know, the ones that do, good for you. It's really nice to see
I
that.
keep forgetting to add mine. It won't track it. I mean, gosh, when I was in Asia for 6 weeks, I walked my feet off. And unless I put it in there, it wouldn't track it. And I have my cell phone with
Yeah.
me all the time.
That is correct. That's very unfortunate. When I had my previous Fitbit watch, it would update automatically, and now I have a new watch, and I have to manually do it. So at one time in Scotland, I forgot it, and then it updated for like 2 or 2.5 weeks, and I planted 2 or 3 trees at once. So yeah, that's very annoying that you have to manually sort of update it. But Roy, you're doing very good. You're top of the leaderboard every week, so well done.
That's because I've got 2 dogs and a lot of land to walk around.
Well, that's good. I mean, every bit helps. All right, so let's see.
I had two pineapples to pick from my pineapple plant outside my house, and I took the tops off and I planted those. So I planted two pineapple trees.
Perfect. That's really good. I
Perfect.
like that.
So I now have 8 pineapple trees.
Nice.
Wow.
And so the other 6, they are giving fruit already?
2 of them gave fruit last year, and they only give one piece of fruit, as I understand it, in their lifetime. So
Really?
the other 4 are still quite small, and it takes them about 4 years to grow where they give fruit. But I have 2 that are giving. I had 2 that were giving fruit this year, and I picked them and took the tops off and planted those.
Good. Well, that's good to hear. Sam, you're on.
Yeah, sorry.
Welcome.
Sorry, I was not on one call, but 2 calls. So apologies.
Oh, wow. Well, the thing is, can you give me the code on your device so I can log on as host? Or are you host? Can you give Kimberly the rights to share screen?
Of course, yeah. There you go.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know anything about a code. Usually there's like it sends a text message and I could just send you the text message, but I didn't get any text messages.
No,
So
because
sorry
it's
about
strange. It said that I needed a one-time password code that I needed to fill in. I send you a text on WhatsApp with a picture,
that.
but
Oh, weird. Yeah, I don't know.
it's very strange. Anyway, so let's see. Kimberly, you should be able to share your screen in a bit. Let me share mine real quickly so we can do the Sergeant at Arms. See this one. I've been away for a while. There we go. All right, can anybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, Sergeant at Arms. So, do we have any birthdays or anniversaries? Don't think so. It's very quiet. In that case, let's move on to sad dollars.
Sorry, I had to turn myself on again. So it was my birthday on Sunday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Well, it was a particularly not nice day, but
Huh.
anyway, I was taking s- very I was taking stuff to have a colonoscopy, so the
Oh,
actually yesterday, so it really wasn't a great day.
That's unfortunate to do on your birthday.
But at
That's
least
just
it was
cruel.
all clear. I'm fine, no cancer, so I'm happy with that. So that
that's
was
the
a
good.
important thing.
Yes.
that was a really, really, really good. That was a really good birthday gift. Anyway, God.
So hopefully you can
My daughter
redo
was
your
on.
birthday.
Oh yes, I'm going to do it on Saturday actually. So that'll be
Perfect.
good.
Good. Well, hopefully it'll be a better day then.
Oh, it will. Of course, it will.
Good. All right. Any sad dollars to start? So first off, I think we should all do a sad dollar for Kraz leaving us, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's sad. So other than that, I do not have any sad news, luckily, so that's good. Any happy dollars?
Yes, I'm off to I'm off to Wales tomorrow via Heathrow, and then I'm in the UK for about 2 weeks.
Oh, nice. That's so good. Did you have a wedding
Wonderful.
there or?
Yeah, it's a wedding we're going to. Yeah, the wedding's in
Nice.
Wales, in Barry.
In Barry and Wales. Wow. Nice. I think it's the landscape's supposed to be beautiful there, right? It's been quite a
That's right.
while
Yes.
since I was in Wales. Well, good. Have fun.
Yeah, it's going to be cold, but there we are. It's England. It's Wales.
I think compared to Georgia, it might be cold, yeah.
Indeed.
For me, it's okay. It's fine. It's about Scotland as well. It was like 17 degrees Celsius or something. So it's not warm, but it's not too cold either. All right. Any other happy dollars?
Well, I have a happy dollar. I'm very happy to have Denise back again.
Thank you.
It's good to see you back.
Thank you. That's really nice of you. All right. Well, I'll put in a happy dollar as well. I'm happy to be back. So that's that. All right. So I think we are going to move on to Kimberly. There we go. You have your beautiful face on the screen, and you should be able to share your screen.
Hang on just 1 second.
Sure.
It's coming up. Let's see. Let me try to get rid of this thing. Hold it over here. So as some of you will know, I've been away, and I was in Bangkok for 2 weeks teaching, which didn't have anything to do with Rotary. But the rest of the time it was all Rotary. So I flew to Japan for a tour, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, with the International Travel and Hosting Fellowship. And oh, by the way, this is Fellowship Month, just in case you didn't know. And I'll talk about that in just a little bit. And then we went to Singapore for convention, as one does, and then went to Bali, where we looked at a couple Rotary projects that are being done there in Bali, and had a little bit of a rest, although maybe not as much as we would have liked, because Bali's very beautiful, but it's very difficult to get around in. The traffic is pretty heinous, and so when I get around to talking about Bali, remind me to talk about cremation, which sounds awful, but that's what was holding us up with the traffic, believe it or not. So it sounds bizarre, but it actually was an interesting cultural opportunity. So I really had a great time. It was a lot of travel. And we started out with ITHF in Hiroshima. It was arranged by the Oleander Initiative, which is a group that is headquartered here in America, where a Rotarian, Ray Matsuyama, I think that's his last name. I probably just butchered it terribly. Arranges these educational tours of Hiroshima. And we spent 3 days there. We started off by walking through the Shukian Gardens, which are really lovely. And then we had a presentation by a woman named Dr. Yuko Takahashi, who has been studying and writing about the effects of the bombing, remember August 8th, 1945, on non-Japanese residents of Hiroshima. There were a number of people who were not Japanese who were impacted, literally impacted by this event, workers and visitors and just people from, I have a hot mic. If somebody can mute their mic, that would be great. And then we were truly honored to be addressed by Hibakusha. Hibakusha is Japanese for one of the survivors. Those that's what they call the survivors of Hiroshima. And her name was Kasaoki Sade-san. And she was 12 at the time of the explosion, and her 3 older sisters were living away. She was with her brother, younger brother. I think she had one other brother. She may have had 2 younger brothers, but her younger brother. And she had just, that was 79 years ago. So she was 12 at the time. So she's 91 now. And she was pretty amazing when she spoke to us. She didn't speak any English. So the woman on the left is the translator. And she talked about how she had just finished her chores for the day, and all of a sudden the sky turned a bright orange, and that was the detonation at 600 meters above the ground of the first atomic bomb that was dropped over Hiroshima. The ground temperature reached somewhere over 3,000 degrees Celsius. So as you imagine, numbers of people were reduced to ash. Her mother had left the house and had gone into town to do something. She lived a bit away, and she was never found. Her father was impacted by the blast and suffered grievous injuries. And she, at 12, and her younger brother had to care for him in the week that it took him to die. And then they had to, on their own, because there wasn't anybody around to help them, they had to arrange and actually conduct his cremation. So you can only imagine what this did to a 12-year-old child. And I'm not here to defend or argue against what happened. I certainly, as a child of a World War II veteran, understand our point of view, but it was very interesting to get the point of view of the people who were there on the day and experienced that event. And I was really moved by a lot of it. I was moved by her story, and I was just moved by her courage. And I wrote a haiku, which is Yurushi, which is forgiveness, Japanese. Yurushi coming slowly to my soul someday. I will fill my heart. I is Japanese for love. And she was able to explain to us how she went from sheer anger and hatred to now forgiveness and love. And she was very, very gracious. I had brought I knew we would have a speaker, and so I brought something representative. Blanco glass is representative of West Virginia. They make it here. It's art glass. And I found a small little ornament that had a dragonfly in it, and dragonfly is good luck in Japan. Just serendipitously was able to find that. So I had taken it with me, and I asked if I could give it to her. And she and I held hands for quite a while and put our heads next to each other. And it was probably one of the more moving experiences of my life, because she has gone from hatred to forgiveness to love. And I was quite impressed by her and quite impressed by her story. And then I took a number of pictures. You can see in the lower left there, that's the tower that survived, and they've left it as a memorial. And then we went through the Peace Park. These up in the upper right-hand corner are cranes, paper cranes, origami paper cranes, and there's thousands and thousands of them that are there. And then the eternal flame, which one day they hope will be extinguished, because they will extinguish it when the threat of nuclear war is finally gone. So and then there's the children's memorial, and there were a lot of school children there studying about it and going to the children's memorial. I don't remember, this was just a memorial site, and obviously I don't read Japanese, so, and a slightly better picture of the tower. And then we lightened the mood. We took a trip and we went to Miyajima, Japan. We visited the deer park, where the deer are so cheeky. They will take and eat anything that they can get their hands on. They were eating, I mean, they even eat paper. I don't know how that can be good for them. But and then of course the tide was in, and so the Torii Gate that you see there in the upper right was covered by some water. But when the tide goes out, you can actually walk to that Torii Gate, and it's a peaceful little village with lots of great food, and just an opportunity to walk around and go to the temple and just kind of decompress after the trip to Hiroshima. And obviously more of Miyajima. So it's just lovely. And of course the architecture is lovely. The gardens, there's nothing like a Japanese garden. Those of you in Florida, if you ever get a chance, you should go down to I believe it's Delray Beach. I may be mistaken, but it's down off 95 where the Murakami Museum is, and the Murakami Gardens. So when I lived there and I needed to get my Zen on, I would drive down to the museum and just kind of walk through the bamboo gardens and around the lakes. It was so lovely and so restful. I see why they call it forest bathing in Japan. They have a term called forest bathing, where you go into the woods or you go into the bamboo forest and you just kind of relax and let nature wash over you. And it really did. We obviously needed it. And we went to visit the Matsuyama Castle, and which is quite high up. I didn't go all the way up to the top of the castle, but I did visit there, and you can see that one of the views from the top up there, the old trees, and it's another lovely place that would not have been possible were it not for a Rotary fellowship. So you know me, I'm always trying to promote the fellowships. So then we went to Osaki Kamijima, say that 3 times fast, and we met a woman there who's really a mover and shaker. She's opened up this school that's very non-traditional Japanese school for students to learn about life in a non-traditional way. And they work a lot with the organic farms that are there. And it's a small little island. And it's really interesting how synergistic everyone is there. But we'd had a ferry that was supposed to take us over there. And we got up in the morning. And the winds were so bad, the ferry wasn't working. And so she arranged through the friends that she has there, the fishermen friends, to send over a fishing boat, which was about, I don't know, maybe fishing boats, but it was a fishing boat. It was teeny tiny. And here we were, all these Rotarians with all our luggage. They had to make, I think about 20 of us, they had to make 2 trips. It was like watching elephants try to learn how to ice skate, watching us trying to get into the boats, and the guys on the boat are moving our luggage in there. And we're all got sandals, and we're not in boat shoes, and we're not boaters, and we're definitely not fisher boaters. So it really, if anyone has any video of that, I hope they never share it. It was just hysterical watching us all get on this fishing boat, and they took us over in 2 trips. I said, we'll be dining out on this story for months because it was just too funny. And this was my view from my hotel room. I got the hotel room. The hotel is owned by oh God, who is it? Somebody that has to do with the ports there. So it's very hard to get into. It's not that cheap, and they have rooms over on the ocean or the seaside that have tatami mats. So I slept for the 3 or 4 nights we were there on the tatami mats, which I thought was going to be really tricky. And I'm not saying it was totally easy, but every day the staff came in and they laid out a thin mattress, and they moved the table, and they set up the tatami mats for us to sleep. And then in the morning they would come back when we were gone and fix the room the way. This was not my room. This was the room, and the picture in the upper left is a Buddhist temple. So that was not my room, but that was the view from my room. And that was dawn, because we're all up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then we got to visit a number of places, one of which was this soy making place. They make them in this, it's like wine. It's not Kikkoman. It's an art form. And this guy explained to us about the soy and the process and all that. We got to do a soy tasting. It's really amazing how different they are. And then in line with the ecology of it all, because this little island is very eco-friendly. I was thinking about that the whole time, that when they press the soy to get the liquid, and then of course there's the stuff left on the bottom, what he does with the dregs on the bottom is he gives it, the guy has to come and get it, gives it to the organic farmer, who mixes it with his soil to provide nutrition to the soil that he has. And he also has deals with the fishermen for the shellfish, and he retrieves the shells and incorporates that through a grinding process in his soil as well. So it's a very circular kind of process in this tiny little island. But the joy of soy, I was just stunned. I had only brought 1 carry-on suitcase because I'm thinking I can do 6 weeks with 1 carry-on suitcase. Well, I was wrong about that. So I was not able to buy as much of the soy as I would have, because I couldn't put it in my carry-on, because I can imagine TSA confiscating that when I got home. So I didn't get as much as I wanted, but we spent 4 days on this island meeting with her students, meeting with the organic farmers, and learning all about how they are helping the economy, or helping the ecology, not the economy, helping the ecology through the relationships that they have. And I put this up here. This is just a representative sample of the meals, which were in Japanese oishi, oishi. I learned to say oishi arigato many, many times, which is delicious. Thank you. The food is oishi, and everything is presented in such an amazing artistic way. The one in the upper right, believe it or not, is a meal that we got in a truck stop, a gas station truck stop. We stopped there for lunch, and this is what they served in the upper right hand corner, the udon noodles and the shrimp. It was delicious. I mean, you don't imagine you're going to get that kind of good food. And everywhere we went, we were served with this amazing looking and amazing tasting food. When we were on the last island, the woman's daughter came with her and some people from the island, and they cooked us our dinners of traditional meals. And every day when we went to a place where they dye fabric, scarves and blankets and hand, bags and things like this, using natural vegetable dyes. So the vegetable scraps are like onion peel and things like that are used to make the dyes. And so we went there, we went to the soy place, we went to the organic farm. We all made our own scarves or bags using the dyeing process. And every day we stopped in a local market. So we got a chance to go to a local supermarket and pick up bento boxes for lunch with whatever kind of meat you wanted and vegetables, and it was really kind of an interesting experience. The cashiers over there don't touch your money. What you do when you're done paying is they have this little machine at the end. You put your credit card in or you put your money in, and it rings up how much you owe, and then it charges your credit card, or you put your money, your yen, in the slot. Fortunately for us, the yen was really favorable. It's about 160 to the dollar. So things were very inexpensive from our perspective. Certainly doesn't help the Japanese any, but it was wonderful for us. So the food was great. The people were so amazing. And again, brought to you, brought to me, brought to us through the experiences of a Rotary Fellowship. Steve and Noko, who are Rotarians from Alaska and Hawaii, they live in both places. Noko was born in Japan, and Steve is Hawaiian, and they're leading another tour in excuse me, in October, where you could go and do the exact same things that I've just walked you through. So if you're at all interested in it, I can provide you with some information about that. I'll try to get the flyer to Susie so she can put it in the newsletter. So that was Japan, and then where do we go next? On to Singapore, where I must admit I spent most of my time in the House of Friendship, because that's where all the fellowships are. That's where they opened the Peace Park. Ray was there, and he opened the Peace Park and talked about it. And they have. I took pictures of some of the different booths that they have, including the quilters, because that's always one of the most colorful and wonderful booths that they have. And then of course Gordon and his wife were there, Gordon McAnally, and his wife is an opera singer and a music teacher. So she and another Rotarian who was this amazing tenor, whose name of course I've completely forgotten, provided a lot of the entertainment. So they had the Chinese dragons open us up. They had, I'm so sorry Grass isn't here, because they had the Bee Fellowship had a booth there. And then they had some acrobat entertainers as well. And obviously the speakers that they had. And it was just this guy, I've seen this guy before. He wears this Rotary costume and he walks around. So I got his picture. I don't know his name. And of course, you know me, I'm not having my picture taken with him. So I just took a picture of him. And he's not the pin man. There's a pin man from Bangladesh who goes to almost every Rotary convention, and he has this jacket that is covered. Every inch is covered by Rotary pins. He must have to pack it specially or something. You certainly can't take all those pins off and put them back on. I've seen him in a number of Rotary conventions now. He's no spring chicken either. So he comes and unfortunately I did not get a picture of him. I was sitting in the booth when he came by and I didn't think to get his picture. He's just really this cute little old guy and he wears all these pins and he's known as the Pin Man at Rotary. And then the next thing is next year is Calgary. If you haven't registered, please do so. I will tell you that almost every hotel room is sold out. Even as a lifetime diamond, I couldn't get a room in any Hilton anywhere. I haven't been able to find anything on Marriott, and I ended up getting an Airbnb for that time. I'm taking my grandson. He's graduating from high school the day before we go to Calgary. And then I'm going to take him. We're doing a cruise, which has been in the newsletter. And it's a family cruise, so you can bring your family. Normally, ITHF, you have to be an ITHF member, but we've opened it up and it's going to be a family cruise. So I'm bringing Gavin because, seriously, what 17-year-old boy doesn't want to spend his time with a bunch of old farty Rotarians? And then I'm taking him on the cruise. So it was a wonderful time. Singapore is, as always, amazing and amazingly hot and humid, soul-suckingly hot. So we were like little moles. We stayed in the subway, and then most of the things come up, either in the building or just outside the building. So we'd be in the subway and then in the underground, or in the shopping malls because they have. For a small island, they must have a gazillion shopping malls, and every one of them has a Ferragamo and a Coco Chanel and a Rolex and posh kind of store that you go. That movie, Crazy Rich Asians, that wasn't a movie, that was a documentary. I mean, seriously, there's more money there than you can even think of, and the exchange rate's not that good. So I did not do a lot of shopping in Singapore, but I had a great time and I met some really great people, and I did get out to the zoo because I'm kind of a zoo freak. So I did go to the zoo there, and then. And there were a couple of library and water projects. They have water. The problem has been getting safe potable water. So in this Belimbing, Bali, they built a building. This guy built a building and he put in this filtration plant. It's not very big, that filters the water using ultraviolet. And we also we gave them 2 million rupiah, which at the rate of 17,000 rupiah to the dollar, do the math, it really wasn't all that much money to us, but it was a lot of money to them. And every child got a book. We listened to them sing. We saw their water project. It was really fascinating what they've been doing. They did another water project on the next, and that the group visited on the next to the last day, but I was just so exhausted. And true confession, I had bought stuff and I couldn't get it in my carry-on. So I had to go to the shopping center and buy a cheap suitcase so I could get all my stuff home. So my goal of 6 weeks in Asia with one carry-on suitcase was defeated. But what can I tell you? You got to have a souvenir, right? You got to bring stuff home for people, right? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So the next to the last day, they went to this other water project, which I'm so glad. I wish I'd been there, but I was so glad I didn't go because it was hours in the vehicle. And I'm telling you, the roads in Bali are terrible. The traffic is heinous and it's hot and humid. Fortunately, this was up in the mountains and it wasn't quite as bad as down by the beach. But I'm telling you, you can have those Bali beaches. They're too hot and humid for me. I mean, they make Florida look like Anchorage, Alaska. It was so hot and so humid. But we did go there and we met with the children and interacted with them, and they got the books, and we gave them the money, and it was a fun experience. And then we went further up in the mountains to the Bali Ubud Sunset Rotary Club, and they have a project primarily for women, but men can join too. They can do needlework too, and also with the local nursing home, which has a dementia unit, and they have found that teaching needlecraft, knitting and crocheting especially, to patients with dementia really helps them cognitively. So again, we gave them 2 million rupiah for their project, and we met with the women. I don't have any pictures of them because I didn't ask permission, and so I don't have pictures of them. But this is an amazing project. If you're at all handy with needlecraft, you can do a YouTube video and share it with them to train them on how to do. They use videos, and some of the work that these women and men are doing, making these scarves and hats and whatever, is pretty amazing. And as you can see here, one of the women, when somebody bought her item for essentially $2 or $3, she said, this means I can have dinner tonight. I mean, think about that. Think about the fact that just buying a $2 or $3 item is the difference between somebody being able to have dinner for her and her family and not being able to have dinner for her and her family. So it pretty moving. And I met some really amazing people who were there. A couple of Americans who have settled in Bali. If you're over 55, you can get a retiree visa, and which has to be renewed. But you can retire and stay in Bali. There's no way I'd stay down by the beach, but I would stay up in the mountains. The mountains are really nice and beautiful, and all the rice growing plant farms and all. It's really quite lovely up there and cooler. So well worth it. Let me see how, because I'm just Oh, cremation. Before I go, I have one more slide. Cremation. So what happens is, when someone in Bali dies, the family meets with the local priest, Buddhist, or I can't remember exactly. I think it's Buddhist. And he picks the most auspicious day for the cremation to occur. Well, 3 or 4 months ago, one of the Bali royal princesses, Bali still has a royal family, but I mean, it's not like they don't live in Buckingham Palace. They do have a palace, and it's quite lovely, but it's not even a constitutional monarchy, but they still have a royal family. So one of the princesses had died, and they literally been keeping her in a freezer until the auspicious day of June 10th. Most of us left on the 6th and 7th, so we weren't there for the funeral. One of our people stayed for an extra week, but they built this big, huge, high tower. And then her casket was a big, huge thing shaped like a bull, a big, huge bull. And they take the bull up to the top of the pyre, and then they bring it back down, and then they move the tower to another place, and then they put it back up there, and then they burn it in front of everyone. And then they take every single possession the person had, all their furniture, all their clothes, everything they owned, and they burn that too, so that it can go with them into the afterlife. So the traffic in downtown, in the capital of Bali, the name of which escapes me at the moment, was just hideous. It would take 5 minutes to go something that without traffic would take 10, because it happened to me. I went downtown and it took me 45 minutes. And then on the way back, I got my own cab, and it literally took me 10 minutes to get to the hotel where I was staying. So until the funeral is over, and because it was a royal family member, everybody and their sister was in town, and of course all the workers, and they're building this thing on the side of the road, and that has to do with the traffic. So that's the tradition in Bali, and when it's a member of the royal family, well, it's quite the do. So we were impacted by that, but it's an interesting cultural event. So my last slide, because June is Rotary Fellowship Month, let me see if my link works. Ta-da! Here's the link to the Rotary Fellowships, and I noticed that there comes some new ones. So there's one for beards and mustaches. There's one for bathhouses. A lot of these take you to the, let's hope this one works, take you to their Facebook page. So Banyas, International Bathhouse Fellowship of Rotarians. Banya is Russian. So it's like the saunas in Scandinavia. So there's one for that. And let me see, where's my, how do I get rid of this now? And oops. There's the, like I said, the beard and mustache one. That seems to be new. Coffee lovers. I don't remember that one before, but maybe it was there because, and I don't drink coffee, so it doesn't really matter. Mental health, mental wellness counselors, Latin culture, badminton, chess, comedy. Again, sorry, Kiraz isn't here. Performing arts, cybersecurity. There you go. There you go. We have a fellowship now for cybersecurity, Sam. So
I think we should all be members of the E-Club Fellowship, really.
yes, exactly. Exactly. There's one for e-clubs, global history, PIN. So that PIN guy from Bangladesh still has a club, ethics. So again, my offer still stands. I have Paul Harris points. If you join a fellowship, not a second fellowship, another fellowship, I will make you, you only get one Paul Harris out of me. So if I've given you a Paul Harris in the past, you're not going to get another one, but you'll get my undying gratitude. How's about that? All right. All right. So let me stop sharing. And that's our trip, made possible by 1, Rotary, and 2, International Travel Hosting Fellowship. And we got to see some of the do-goodery that Rotary is doing around the world. So that's, any questions, comments, issues, concerns?
Well, it was really nice. Thank you so much, Kimberly. It looks wonderful.
It
And,
was
Very interesting.
yeah, really, really nice. And I'm hungry now, seeing that food. That looked wonderful.
Oh my God, we did not have a bad, you could not have a bad meal in Japan
No.
unless you go to McDonald's. And
Yeah,
for which
probably.
I apologize everywhere we go. There's a freaking McDonald's, and I'm always apologizing to the locals for this horrible export that we've had. But it is not possible to have a bad meal in Japan. It's just not. It's just
That
not.
is perfect.
It's not possible to have a bad meal in Singapore either.
No.
Although I
Well,
found an
Singapore's very
amazing
good.
taco place. I found an amazing taco place with the best fish tacos I've ever had in Singapore. Yeah,
Nice.
sorry, I interrupted. Roy, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say, Singapore's got some great food, whether it's very high end food,
Yep.
or very low end, what you get off the buskers and things like that. It's really
Yep.
good.
Yep, the
It's actually got
spicy
better
crab.
Indian food than India.
Yep, the spicy crab is pretty amazing.
Oh
Ailish,
yes.
your hand is up, dear.
Yeah, thank you. I will come away with one abiding memory of your talk,
Which is?
and that is elephants on ice skates. It was hilarious, absolutely hilarious, but very interesting, really, really interesting. And very well put together. You know, the sequence that you followed was easy to follow, very coherent,
good.
very cogent, and comprehensive. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you
Well,
very much. I
you're very
appreciate
welcome.
it.
It was indeed my pleasure. I guess teaching virtually does have some benefits. 'Cause you learn how you learn how to do that. Although I still hate it. So please come to Calgary next year. Please, please, please. There's a pre-trip of Calgary, a road trip, which I'm obviously not going to be going to because of Gavin's graduation, because I'm not missing that. And the cruise is not sold out. And again, it's a family cruise, so you can bring folks. I've talked to Jula, and she may be bringing her 2 grandchildren. I haven't talked to her. I mean, I've communicated with her, but
That is nice.
she was there. We went to the night zoo together in Singapore.
Oh, that is nice. Ailish, you have another question?
No, she just forgot to put her hand down.
Oh, okay.
I do all the time.
That's fine. Oh, I'd love to visit one someday, but might be when it's a bit closer to home for me.
Oh, that's right. I was gonna say that's not that far, but yeah, it's in Canada, so
It's kind of far for me.
yeah.
Perhaps when it's somewhere in Europe again.
Well, let me see when that might be. You keep talking and I'll look it up for you.
That's okay.
I was just going to say, I had lowered my hand, but I raised it again. I just want to remind Sam if you'd send that little email to me. Thank you so much. Thanks, Sam.
All right. So while Kimberly looks up the next the next locations for the convention.
They're out to 2030, which is Chicago, then there's Minneapolis, Manila, Honolulu, Taipei, and Calgary. I don't see anything in Europe. Don't you have any convention centers out there?
We have plenty, but
I don't know.
well, we'll see then. Maybe one day.
One day.
All right. So next week, I'll be doing a recap of the year because I believe that'll be my last official president's role as president. So it's gone by pretty fast, the year. And then Sam will take over again. Are you okay to do that, Sam?
No choice at this point.
Uh,
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. No. Yep. It's a
All
done
right.
deal. No problem. Happy to
Okay,
do it.
good. And if you want me, if you want me to talk about my trip to Scotland, show you some nice pictures, you can book me as a speaker somewhere in the coming weeks or anything. Just let me know beforehand because I do need to make something. So,
Sounds good. I want to see that castle.
oh yes,
The
I saw
Airbnb castle.
so many castles. So it's yeah, I visited a lot of castles. That's my thing. I like history. So
That's fun. That's fun.
all right. So with that, we can conclude our meeting. So we're a little bit in front of schedule. So that's really good. And so we'll close up with our motto: service above
Service above
self.
self.
And then see you
Above self.
all next week.
Thank
care.
you.
I shan't be
Kimberly.
here for the next 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Okay, of course.
you,
Have a
Kimberly.
good wedding.
I'm gonna
Thank
try
you.
I'm gonna try and come, but I've been assigned a class that starts at 1:30 in the morning because I have to teach their local time in Africa. So by noon, I may be asleep.
That's completely fine then. Well, we'll see you then the weeks after.
All right, thank you.
All right.
care.
Bye.
Bye.